In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve the ALEKS problem called predicting the reactants or products of alcohol and aldehyde oxidation. There are a few different versions of this problem, and I'm going to try my best to show you all of the different versions of this problem. This version of the problem is providing me with an aldehyde. It is going through a strong oxidation process, and it wants me to draw the product of this reaction. So for this, I'm going to start by redrawing the molecule that was provided to me. If you are starting with an aldehyde and you are oxidizing it, it doesn't matter if it's strong or otherwise. If you're oxidizing it, that reaction just slides that hydrogen out of the way and makes room to insert an oxygen in that carbon-hydrogen bond. So this is what you would get if you are starting, like with this problem, starting with an aldehyde and asked to oxidize the aldehyde, whether it's strong or mild. The other version of this problem is that you could start with an alcohol. So I'm going to use the same type of molecule, same carbon skeleton, but I'm going to draw an alcohol like that. And if you have an alcohol as your starting material undergoing oxidation, it could be strong or it could be mild oxidation. We'll start with the mild oxidation process first. In the mild oxidation, the alcohol is converted to an aldehyde. So the carbon skeleton is going to be pretty much the same. And this is the spot of the molecule where we're going to actually do the conversion. We're going to, or actually I should be circling this whole thing, we're going to remove a hydrogen atom from both the carbon and the oxygen, and we're going to create a carbon-oxygen double bond. So this carbon stays, but we're going to take away one of its hydrogens, so there's only going to be one hydrogen left. The carbon-oxygen bond is turned into a double bond, and the oxygen stays, but loses its hydrogen. I don't really know if ALEKS likes this type of drawing. I wouldn't risk it. So I'm going to kind of put that back. So what I'm drawing here is a carbon with one hydrogen attached to it that's double bonded to an oxygen. I'm going to draw this in a way that I think ALEKS will like better, like that. So that would be the answer if you're starting with an alcohol and you're being asked to do mild oxidation. Now, version number 3 of this problem is that you could start with an alcohol, which we just did. So I'm going to use the same alcohol. And you'll be asked to draw the product of strong oxidation, strongly oxidized. Now, if we're doing strong oxidation, we're going to make almost the exact same product as the mild oxidation, but we're going to have that extra oxygen atom in between the carbon-hydrogen bond, just like what we did up here with the aldehyde. And so we're going to start by taking the alcohol and subjecting it to the mild oxidation process, like that. And then, but because it's a strong oxidation, we're just going to stick that extra oxygen atom right there. That would be the product that we get for strong oxidization. Now, the fourth version of the problem would be that it would provide you with a product, which every version that I have seen, it provides you with a carboxylic acid, but it could also provide you with an aldehyde. So it's going to provide you with one of these molecules. It has a carbon-oxygen double bond in it, and it wants you to predict a reactant that could be oxidized to give that product. And the wording of the problem tells you something like, if there's more than one correct answer, you could provide any one of them. And that's really handy. So let's say that it provided us with this as the product and it asked us to pick a reactant. We showed that this molecule could be created by oxidizing this alcohol, but also this molecule could be created from oxidizing this aldehyde. So there's more than one correct answer for a lot of the problems where you're being given the product and asked to come up with the reactant. But let's just pretend, that we were given a problem like that, where it said, here is your molecule. What is the reactant that would give you that molecule? How are we going to solve that problem? Well, first of all, we're going to redraw our carbon skeleton because these reactions don't have any effect on the carbon skeleton as a whole. And we can see we've got these, this part of the molecule is what is being created in the oxidation process. So if we're going to try to just keep this problem as simple as possible, you're going to keep that carbon atom right there, which I already have, and we're just going to turn this into an alcohol. So instead of a carbon with a whole bunch of stuff hanging off of it, let's just turn it into an OH. And what we are going to need to do to finish this problem off correctly is to make sure that we add enough hydrogen atoms to that carbon so that it has got all 4 of the bonds that it wants. This is going to be the fastest and simplest way to answer that 4th type of this problem.